Good evening and welcome to Apex Racing TV here on iRacing IMSA Sportscar Series, also on the iRacing Live. My name is Samuel Kumo and alongside me is Ryan Walker, and shortly, hopefully, should be we have Adam Bath joining us here. Currently, we are in the qualify session. The guys are about to finish their qualifying laps. This time around we have 2 laps in this qualify session with a good variety of cars here, with 39 cars on the grid. But Ryan, coming to this, let's see the standings for as they are right now.
Absolutely. Starting off with the DP class, current leader in the championship is Dirk Reinhardt with second place is Simon Grossman, and third place is Joseph Burton Harris. Fourth place we have Dragon Nickett. Fifth place we have Brandon S. Sixth place we have Marco Adikono. Apologies if I pronounced that name wrong. Seventh place we have Peter Bogg. Eighth place we have Davis Braun, and ninth place we have Matteo Chauvier, and in 10th place we have David Weiss.
Thank you, and let's see over in the GT3 standings.
Yep, in P1 we've got Massimo Carbonone. Second place we've got Marco Gabriel Nessi. Third place we've got Luigi Nespolino. 4th place we have Mika Lerky. 5th place we have Rocky Garcia. 6th place we have Jorge Blascoval. 7th place we have Marco Testani. 8th place we have Chris Hugin, I believe that's how it's pronounced. 9th place we have Edward Core, and in 10th place we have Karsten Hoof.
Thanks. And in the Porsche 911 standings, it's looking pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely. In P1 we've got Michele Ricci. 2nd place we have got Marcel Fassbender. 3rd place we have got Manuel Sanchez. In 4th place we've got Matthias Skodzer, I think that's how it's pronounced. 5th place we have got Ray Galloway. 6th place we've got Fernando Garcia Perez. 7th place Kevin Bojalasa. 8th place we have got Martin Chaviara. 9th place Yire Sharvat, and in 10th place we have got Bastian Remes, I think that is.
Thanks for that, Ryan. And look at that, Wild Adam Path appears. Welcome.
Oh yeah, just about perfect timing. Yeah. Well done on the name pronunciations, Ryan. I must say.
That was a bit. I tried to just guess it, and I apologise to any of the drivers if I pronounce their name wrong. But yeah, it's my first time doing the run through the standings, and yeah, it was not too bad, I guess.
Oh yeah, qualified just finishing then. Yeah, and good even split of drivers today. And yeah, Monza. We haven't talked about it already. Probably couldn't pick a better circuit, I think, for these 3 classes to race around today.
Yeah, absolutely. Monza is probably one of those tracks. It gets used a lot in real life for all the time for Formula 1 races, but not a lot for multi-class races. But it produced great racing in real life today in the European Le Mans Series, 4 hours of Monza.
I was getting on the grid then, and they are going to do half a pace lap, and they're lining up just under where I had a right shocker in one of the Blancpain GT Series races that we did a while ago here at the Apex team. But we're running through the starting grid then. Marco Diacono, the man from Italy, who has been on form recently, but he has definitely pulled out the stops in the qualifying session. He's on pole. 2nd is Simon Grossman with Dirk Reinhardt in 3rd, both driving for Diach. Then Joseph Burton Harris, the Aussie-New Zealand driver, in 4th. Matteo Prudhomme in 5th, the Frenchman, with Fraser Williamson in 6th, Dragan Nikic in 7th. 8th is Mika Eshui with Julien Augen in 9th, and Martin Blaise, the Canadian, in 10th. Chris Pence in 11th with Anthony Grant in 12th, Sam Fitzpatrick in 13th. And then moving into the GT3s, where we have another Italian on pole position in Massimo Carbagnani. Gianni Vecchio in 2nd. 3rd is Elliot Biddle with Cohen Klopman 4th. 5th is Jorge Blascavals. 6th is Marcin Pajic with Dustin Hickman in 7th. Interesting to see he's changed classes for this race meeting. Usually races in even the Daytona prototypes. Claudio Klima in 8th. There's a blast from the past. I haven't seen that name in a while. Nestoras Kiasoglu in 9th. 10th, Luigi Nespolino. 11th, Fabrice Cornelis. 12th, David Baker, a familiar name from the BSRTC champion as well, former BSRTC champion. Andreas Lakeman, I should say, in 13th. And then into the Porsche 911s, Michel Ricci on pole position there. Another Italian, so all 3 classes have Italians on pole. And then Dejvad Cavoni in 2nd with Marcel Fassbender in 3rd, David Barraclough in 4th, Mark McDonald in 5th with Yuko Lescala in 6th, 7th Tim Claessens with Tyson Mayer in 8th, 9th Chris Fuller, Michael Villa in 10th, Kevin Buhalasa in 11th for the Canadian, Johannes Schafranka in 12th, and starting at the back in 13th place, 39 cars in this field, is Rene Kirchhoff. Well then, cars on their pace lap, and just as we said, Ryan a short pace lap, and what's going to be great is that there's going to be a lot of slipstreaming here, so I expect these positions to change quite a bit during this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Monza, with it being loads of straights most of the time, it gives you a chance to try and keep up with people. If someone passes you, you cannot possibly keep in the slipstream and try and draft them, or just use the draft to try and get back past them, or just use the draft to keep up with them. And Monza always produces great racing, and I'm sure today will be no exception.
Alright, 45-minute race. Now the field is in the hands of Marco Diacono as the safety car pulls into the pit lane. 13 Daytona prototypes ready to go, and a mandatory pit stop as well. So here comes the green flag, and we're underway here in the IMSA Sportscar Series, and you can see straight away the two teammates, Simon Grossman and Dirk Reinhardt, trying to swallow up Marco Diacono here. They're both going to go to the inside and the outside, but who's going to have the lead here into the Rettifilio for the first time? Up the inside goes car 9, Dirk Reinhardt. He takes the lead, but locks up the brakes and goes wide, and his teammate goes into the back of him. Marco Diacono reclaims the lead, and who's that coming round? That's number 27, Matteo Prudhomme. He's managed to split the two teammates and might even get second place as we go through Curva Grande. Dirk Reinhardt just leaves him enough space, and what a crazy start that was. A fantastic start also from Julian Ojan. He's up to 5th position from 9th on the grid, and now into the Della Roggia for the first time. Up the inside goes another one of the Daytona prototypes there. That was Joseph Burton Harris, and that sent a whole load of cars all over the place. Simon Grossman has got damage. It's all going horribly wrong for him, and he's now wheel to wheel with Fraser Williamson. But what a crazy start that was, Ryan.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy to watch. But watching through the Daytona prototype field, it looks like everyone's managed to get through relatively unscathed.
And it's a good start for Massimo Carbagnani. So the Italians stay 1 and 2 in the Daytona prototypes and in the German GT3s. He's got Gianni Vecchio that's pretty close to him though. Both in Mercedes going into the Ascari chicane for the first time. And let's see what's going on in the rough C specs. I saw a little bit of issues there, and it's split up actually quite a bit. Michel Ricci still leads the way there in his Porsche 911. Marcel Fassbender in second, who is always very quick in these cars. So interesting to see that the Porsches are spread out pretty early on, and the leaders coming around to complete the first lap. Then Marco Diacono's got a very healthy lead, just under a second over Dirk Reinhardt, who's in second position. Third, Matteo Prudhomme with Joseph Burton Harris in fourth. Then Simon Grossman with that damage in fifth after starting second on the grid. And then behind him it's Fraser Williamson in sixth, seventh, Mika Eshui, Julian Ojan, and then Dragan Nikic running up the top 10 as we've got a battle for the lead in the German GT3s run. It looks like Vecchio might have taken the lead.
Yeah, I've not seen that. I've just spotted through the Porsche class that David Barraclough is having issues and seems to have major damage. So I don't know if he got caught up with someone or someone ploughed into the back of him. But yeah, he's crabbing really bad and he's crawling back to the pits.
Well, David Barraclough did start towards the front of the Porsche class. Just going to see what happened actually to him in the first corner. Well, we had an almighty shunt. I don't know whether Sam can rewind, our cameraman and director can rewind back to the start, but absolutely monumental incident. And it started with just trying to find a name that we can go off. It was Rene Kirchhoff, the man who started at the back, absolutely throttling whoever that was, Tyson Mayer, into the first corner. That causes a whole load of issues. I don't know if you've been able to have a look at that, Ryan, but yeah, absolute carnage.
Yeah, it's just I missed the accident. I missed what happened, but yeah, I just spotted him crawling back to the pits, and yeah, it must have been one monster accident for to get that damage that bad. And yeah, it's real unfortunate because David is on his day. He's probably one of the quickest drivers out there in GT racing, and yeah, it just seems to be wrong place, wrong time. Good
battles in the Daytona prototype. So for third position here, Joseph Burton Harris versus Matteo Prudhomme. I think that is Joseph Burton Harris up into third position now. So he's got past him, and Fraser Williamson and Simon Grossman having their own battle here as well. That is over fifth and sixth place. They're wheel to wheel going into the Della Roggia here. Up the inside goes Grossman. That damage doesn't seem to be holding him back at all. And he's through and back into the top 5. And you can see there Fraser Williamson and Mika Rashwi, both teammates. It looks like they're both running the same colour scheme. And they're going to try their best to keep in touch with Simon Grossman along with his teammate Dirk Reinhardt, who it looked so promising for them going into the Rettifilio at the start of the race, but then it all went a bit pear-shaped there, and they're going to have to spend the rest of this race trying to recover. Dirk Reinhardt slowly losing touch with Arch Diacono, our leader, pretty slow over the last few laps, but this battle for third. Ryan, Joseph Burton Harris running very wide on the exit of Ascari there, and Prue Tom, as long as he stays within a relatively close distance, you're going to be able to get pulled along around this circuit.
Yeah, if Pro Tom can keep in the slipstream and try and keep up with Joseph Burton Harris, and maybe the two of them could possibly work together to try and catch the top two in front of them.
I don't know if you had any experience in this category of racing around Monza, but you had. You been around this track at all on iRacing?
I've done some races in the past around here. I done a race probably, I think it was last season or the season before. I done a race in the Corvette and in the Pro GT series around here in the Corvette, and yeah, it's probably one of the most fun tracks to race around. And I wasn't really quick like I normally am, or I'm slow as always. But yeah, it provides great racing, and yeah, it's as I said before, it's one of those tracks that seems to it doesn't get used a lot for multi-class racing.
Good battle here, Elliot Biddle versus Marcin Skrzywczak over 3rd and 4th in class. The two Mercedes going side by side here through the Curva Grande, and on their way to the Della Roggia. You can see Biddle moving across, and Skrzywczak up the inside into the Roggia, but Biddle turns in and has full commitment there into the second chicane, but goes wide on the exit. And it's going to look up the inside into the first Lesmo here. But again, Biddle goes around the outside. 90-degree right-handers coming up, and who's that trying to get in the mix? That is Cohen Klopman. Look at the speed that Biddle takes down to the second Lesmo. He runs onto the gravel and the AstroTurf on the exit, and that gives Skrzywczak the 3rd position for now, and it's really hampered him in terms of exit speed here, Ryan. He's just going to get passed by quite a few more cars, I think.
Yeah, I think it all started at the second Lesbo where big accident in front.
Oh dear, that was Marcin Skrzywczak. He just made it into 3rd position, and that was a Kia Optima style quarter panel, but who was the instigator in that? I think it was Cohen Klopman. Yes, it was indeed, and yeah, he's not going to be at all happy with that, I don't think. But then again, looking on the replay, you can argue that Skrzywczak really just turned across the front of Cohen Klopman going into that chicane. Ryan.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the replay, and it looks like when he went up the inside, or he was in front of Cohen, and he just never left Cohen Klopman enough room for the corner, and Cohen couldn't do anything about that, and they both ended up collecting each other. And yeah, I would say that was just a racing incident and really unfortunate.
Of course, these drivers do have their own spotters, which is turned on by default, so they can turn it off, but I'm sure Marcin Skrzywczak would have possibly heard that, probably heard, I should say, that there was a car alongside. And speaking of near collisions again, Claudio Klima having a battle with Dustin Hickman there. That was over 5th and 6th in class, and now Klima's having to fend off Jorge Blasco-Vals and Nestoras Kiasoglu going into the second chicane. So plenty of action going on here in the German GT3s. All action really from Cohen Klopman on back. Gianni Vecchio has also got a half a second advantage over Massimo Carbignani in at the front of the German GT3s. Elliot Biddle now has got a bit of breathing space between him and that train that's snaking around this circuit. They've just gone out the second Lesmo and under the bridge, which is of course the old banking that they still have here at Monza. Have you ever been around that layout, Ryan, on iRacing?
I can't say I have, but the temptation has been there a few times just to see what it's like. But I probably could guess it's good fun.
Yeah, I've had a go of it on R Factor, but yeah, I haven't. Maybe the BSR series might give it a go. I don't know. I doubt they've got enough pit stalls for it. The amount of popularity that series is getting, it seems, over the last few weeks, and I've probably given them just an idea for that. So, yeah, watch this space possibly over the next few seasons. We'll check again on the Porsches. We haven't done that recently. Michel Ricci is still leading the way. Marcel Fassbender still giving him a run for his money, sort of. The gap is 1.2 seconds. Then Dejvad Karoni in third. He's got Mark McDonald and Yuko Leskala in right in touching distance, really. But we always seem to see, and always seem to say, I should say, Ryan, the Porsches aren't probably the best cars in running close together, like you would see in the GT3s and the Daytona prototypes.
Yeah, the top. I mean, it's probably it provides great racing, but when you're in a pack, the risk of getting bad damage seems to be there, and the damage on the Porsche sometimes, depending on how hard the hit is, or accident or whatever is, it seems to be a really easy car to damage. So running in a pack is a bit risky at times.
Yeah, of course. Most of these Porsches nursing a bit of damage after the chaos that we saw in the first corner on lap 1 of the race. And a problem for was that Dirk Reinhardt and Joseph Burton Harris having a battle. They just changed positions on my timing screen for some reason. Just having a quick look to see what might have happened there. Oh, Dirk Reinhardt overshot the first chicane. That's what happened. Doing a Nico Rosberg there, and has to, of course, take the. Well, he doesn't take the chicane like you would see, but he will pick up a slowdown penalty for that. And Joseph Burton Harris is now up into second position as a result of that. So a free position there for Burton Harris, and he is now 3 seconds off Marco Diacono. Now, of course, these Daytona prototypes, they are pretty quick, so slowing them down can be an issue. And yeah, Dirk Reinhardt, who's usually one of the drivers you'd see at the front, getting caught out just a little bit there. So they're now starting to lap the rear of the Porsche traffic. What do you reckon, Ryan? Is in terms of negotiating the traffic, is this probably more one of the easier circuits to get it done due to the fast nature of the circuit?
Yeah, I'd say it's much easier around Monza because you're on the straights most of the time, and plus with Monza and the straights, especially the home straights, being really wide, it makes it easier to lap slower traffic. For example, the GT3s and the Porsches. So yeah, you don't have much of an issue, and with the wide straights and longer straights, it makes it easier.
Joseph Burton Harris, he's under pressure now from Dirk Reinhardt. Reinhardt fighting back, but they've got a Porsche in the way, and that is Michael Villa with the Tequila Patron livery on his Porsche. Of course, other brands are available, but going through the Curva Grande here, a completely different continent as they go through. Michael Villa in 8th in the Porsche category, and these two fighting over 2nd and 3rd. And it's going to be the slow parts of the circuit where the traffic really catches you out, and they're doing a relatively good job of making their way through. Marco Diacono lapping 0.6 of a second quicker than Joseph Burton Harris on that previous lap. You can see both of them, and a big jump there by Dirk Reinhardt, doing everything they can to try and get by, using all the lengths of the circuit here. That runoff area. Yeah,
they talk about using the whole of the exit curve. That was just crazy.
A long commitment by these guys. Yeah, they've now lost a lot.
Yeah, Reinhardt's got a run with Burton Harris, but will he try anything into turn 1? No, stays back.
Good run there by Dirk Reinhardt. Obviously, we can get out of the Rettifilio. Not really the best run there this time, and you can see a few car lengths put on there by Joseph Burton Harris. So just coming up to lap Chris Fuller in his Porsche 911. Will they get there before they get to the Della Roggia? Unfortunately for Burton Harris, that Porsche is going to be right there as they go through it. This might give the opportunity to Dirk Reinhardt on the exit, but Dirk Reinhardt not close enough, and just be careful here because he might get boxed in, and he flies at the inside. All sorts of out of shape there.
Yeah, that was butt clenching stuff there for a moment.
Of course, the the many perils of racing in traffic. And you can see Dirk Reinhardt lighting it up out again on the exit. Simon Grossman and Matteo Prudhomme possibly getting a bit close to these guys now. What were their lap times like? 41.4 last time around. That was 0.6 of a second quicker than Dirk Reinhardt. Maybe implying that Reinhardt could be getting held up just a little bit after paying the price for cutting that chicane. Joseph Versenhauer taking all sorts of different lines there on the exit of the Ascari chicane. And Prudhomme also did a 41.7, so 0.6 of a second or so quicker than the guys in front. And if they continue at that pace, they could be with them in no time at all. The Parabolica didn't seem to be doing anything to catch Marco Diacono. But Prudhomme, he's got a good run on the exit of the Parabolica here. Ryan, and now he looks like he's going to be lining up Dirk Reinhardt's teammate, Simon Grossman.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a run in him, but I don't think he's close enough to try anything into turn 1. Then I think it would be a bit silly to do a dive bomb.
Yeah, especially at this stage of the race. Of course, these official races, safety rating is in play here. Of course, most of the drivers in this field today are on their A class, so when you get to that point, you don't really care about the safety rating. But Joseph Versenhauer, he has got a B 1.35, and if that gets any worse, he could be in danger of automatic demotion back to the C class, which means he would be ineligible to race in this championship. So needs to be a bit careful out there as he goes up the inside of Yuko Leskala. And you can see these guys are really struggling with the traffic now as Versenhauer nearly runs into the back of Mark McDonald. Here comes Dirk Reinhardt then. He's got a good run on the exit of the second Lesmo, and within no time at all, Grossman and Prudhomme could be there with them. A really congested part of the Porsche traffic here as Versenhauer, he's going to go up the inside into the Ascari chicane. That puts a car in between himself and Dirk Reinhardt, and Reinhardt has to get on the brakes there, and now Simon Grossman's with him. Really bad part of the circuit to catch the traffic, and now Joseph Versenhauer is rocketing away from Dirk Reinhardt now. He's got to deal with his teammate.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be any team orders. Multi-21 springs to mind.
Go through the final corner. Oh, Dirk Reinhardt!
Oh.
I thought that was the front going then. Now this is going to give Simon Grossman the opportunity he needs as they come across the line. They need to be careful here they don't run into each other. Grossman's got enough damage as it is, and the bumped it. Get some top speed going there. What speed is Reinhardt doing? About 280, 290 kilometers per hour as they hit the brakes into the Bertofilio, and he has to miss the chicane again. And that's good. Oh, and he nearly runs into the Porsche there. I think that was Oh, as it goes through, I can't work out who that was, but yeah, Joseph Versenhauer still remains in second position, and what's that done to Dirk Reinhardt? He's going to have to serve another slowdown, but he's somehow still ahead of Simon Grossman and Matteo Prudhomme, so he might be able to serve that penalty in time before they get there. Prudhomme getting a bit impatient as well behind these guys. Classic battle going on here. Simon Grossman gets by Dirk Reinhardt, so yeah, you're right, Ryan, maybe a little bit of team orders going in play there. Grossman definitely seems the quicker of the two teammates at this stage in the race anyway. Dirk Reinhardt, don't know where he's going. That might be the Johnny Herbert line through the second Lesmo. And yeah, that's Prudhomme through into fourth position now. Reinhardt down to fifth.
Yeah, I'm just looking back through the Porsche class, and the Michele Ricci and Marcel Fassbender are still relatively close together. So yeah, it could be an interesting battle for most of the race, and see what and they could possibly maybe use strategy at the pit stop.
Of course, yeah, pit stops coming up this race. We're just about to get to the halfway mark. Plenty of racing, fantastic racing going on here. Here's a great battle. David Baker. This is towards the rear end of the German GT3s. Andreas Lakem versus David Baker. We've got Luigi Nespolino in there as well. Two Mercedes and an Audi. And it's Baker in that yellow and black CQR livery, looking very good actually on that Audi R8 as they go through the Curva Grande. Keep saying Curva de Sol, but yeah, going into the second of the chicanes. And while we look at this battle, I can tell you that Dirk Reinhardt has come into the pit, so an early roll of the dice there. He will have to spend a little bit extra time in the pit lane, making sure he gets all the fuel on. But yeah, an opportunity here, Ryan, to pit early, get some clear air, put in those good laps, and you might be able to get some positions back that he lost during his first stint.
Yeah, this is the thing with the multi-class racing, especially around the track such as Monza. if you're stuck in traffic or stuck in traffic and you're losing time, you could maybe try and do an undercut in the pit stop by pitting early and getting some clear air and maybe gaining some time and some positions back.
Oh, great battle just in front of the David Baker battle. Nestoras Kiasoglu and Fabrice Cornelis. This is that big train that we saw earlier on in the race, and they are still all together. Dirk Reinhardt's pit stop time was a 28-second stop. He was in the pit lane for 53 seconds. What can Kiasoglu do now as they come across the line? Of course, Cornelis will be picking up a bit of slipstream off Jorge Blascavals in front of him, and Kiasoglu will have to go to the outside into the Rettifilio. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Looks like Kiasoglu might get it done here. He should have the inside line for the second part of the Rettifilio, but then again, Cornelis can get the run on the outside, so fantastic stuff going on there. And it's the same just behind them, David Baker and Andreas Laken, both wheel to wheel on the exit of the first chicane. Baker through, so that's Baker into 10th place now, but it looks like that Laken isn't giving up by any means, almost going into the back of the CQR car as they hit the brakes, going into the Della Roggia. Baker in the CQR car in the top split today, and doing a good job up in 10th position in the German GT3s as Fraser Williamson pits from the Daytona prototypes. So we're starting to see dribs and drabs of Daytona prototypes coming in to make their mandatory pit stop.
Yeah, I think Fraser might be trying the strategy that I was talking about, maybe pitting early and see if he can gain some positions. I've watched Fraser a few times in various series, and he's a quick driver, and on his day when he's quick, he can get some good results.
Now Dirk Reinhardt, 28-second stop. That's either, I think that might be a penalty because the car didn't look particularly damaged, Ryan, and we saw him cut the chicane. Perhaps he didn't serve the slowdown penalty in time, and now he's had to possibly serve that penalty in the pit stop.
Yeah, that's the thing with iRacing. When you get a slowdown, you have to slow right down and make sure I think anyway, when it goes back down to zero, that's when the slowdown finishes. But maybe he didn't slow down enough, and it's ended up giving him a penalty. And yeah, it's added that time on in the pit stop possibly, or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I wish we could enlighten you. We don't have that stuff at our disposal. But yeah, long stop for Dirk Reinhardt, 28-second stop. So that just puts pay to possibly not the best of days here in the IMSA Sportscar Series here at Monza. Here on Apex Racing TV, 22 minutes to go. So we've literally just crossed the halfway mark of the race. Great battles unfolding in all of our classes here, in the Daytona prototypes, the German GT3s, and in the Porsche 911 class. Marco Arcidiacono just starting to lap the Daytona prototype, the German GT3s now, I should say. He's managed to just recently get by the Lakem-Baker battle, and next will be for him that long train of Kiasoglu, Cornelis, Blascavals, Dustin Hickman, Karen Klotman, and Claudio Klima. So that's all looking set to get pretty interesting. Joseph Burton Harris and Simon Grossman are still engrossed, you could say, in a battle for second and third in class as they go into the Scari chicane here. Lap 14 of the race, and tell you what, Ryan, Simon Grossman, he started off slow after he picked up that damage in the Rettifilio, but he seems to be fighting his way back through the field. He started on the front row, and it looks set to try and take back his position inside the top two as he lines up Joseph Burton Harris into the Parabolica.
Yeah, Simon seemed to have a slow start to the race, and then as the races went on, he's slowly got back into a rhythm.
Oh, dear me, as they go into the pits. And that was Simon Grossman getting later on the brakes than Joseph Burton Harris did, and it almost went horribly wrong there. And the top three all in. Marco Arcidiacono has also come into the pits. So has Burton Harris, so has Simon Grossman. Sam Fitzpatrick also coming into the pits. So we'll see what the pit stop times are like for these guys. Marco Arcidiacono should rejoin in the lead. He's got no damage, and I don't think he's got a worry in the world. Away he goes. 14.4 second stop for him. Looks like Burton Harris might just make
Grossman
it.
might jump him.
Oh, that's close. There's the pit lane line. They somehow
There's a drag race.
somehow enough space, and they better be careful here because they cannot cross that white line, otherwise they'll get a penalty. And Joseph Burton Harris knows that and has to slot in behind, and you can see that damage has been repaired on Simon Grossman's car, and more importantly, Ryan, he's leapfrogged him and is now up into second place effectively.
Yeah, that was pretty tense to watch, but it seems that I don't know how to describe that. That was just that pit entry. That scared me.
Well, it would have been a disaster for Joseph Burton Harris, I think, if he'd got hit on the entry into pit lane, because it almost certainly would have put him outside the entry to the pit lane. So he would have had to either served another lap, or might even have got a penalty for dangerous entry. But yeah, the leaders of the German GT3s have come in pretty much all together. They are very, very close. Gianni Vecchio and Massimo Carbagnani. Of course, Carbagnani started on the German GT3 pole, and Gianni Vecchio started second. And we're going to have another NASCAR-style race off pit road between those two. They both hit the box at exactly the same time, and we'll see who is the quicker of the two with the fuel. Mercedes versus Mercedes, Italy versus Diach here. Got similar things in the Grand Prix today, and a slower stop for Vecchio. That's given Carbagnani the opportunity to take what could be effectively the German GT3 lead back. And he exits the pit lane, and yeah, a quicker stop by those guys, Ryan, and that the pit stops once again influenced the battle in another of the classes here in the IMSA Sportscar Series.
Yeah, I was watching Vecchio as he came to his pit box, and he missed his pit box just a tiny bit, and he had to reverse a little bit into his box, and it cost him maybe 2 or 3 seconds.
Fine margins here in the IMSA Sportscar Series then, and simple things, missing your pit box can cost you that much time and cost you the lead, the effective lead in the German GT3s as they emerge from their pit stops. Order at the moment then, Martin Blaise leads the way. He is yet to pit, the Canadian. Then Marco Arcidiacono in second, and then Chris Pence in third. Arcidiacono just lapping Gianni Vecchio, incidentally, as he goes through the first of the Lesmos. But he goes there, a lot of dirt and dust offline around this Monza circuit. Chris Penn dropping down the order, actually. Has he gone off? It looks like he might have just let a few of the cars by. Indeed he has, so yeah, just letting the quicker cars go by. It will probably be this lap where he pits. We've got 17 minutes to go. I can tell you that we've had a few pit stops in the Porsche 911 category, I should say. We've had Michel Ricci, our leader, come in. Also in has been Yuko Leskala. Mark McDonald has also been in, and Marcel Fassbender has been in for a very long pit stop, 25.4 seconds. That's almost Dirk Reinhardt territory there. So problems for him, probably damage that he may have picked up at the start of the race. We've got more cars coming into the pits, and actually we might need to go to the battle actually between Joseph Burton Harris and Matteo Prudhomme. They almost came together going through the final corner, the Parabolica. And Joseph Burton Harris, as a result, has pulled away just a little bit. He may have lost second to Simon Grossman, and he almost lost the final spot on the podium to the Frenchman Matteo Prudhomme there going through the final corner. Chris Pence finally serving that pit stop, and in fact all of the German GT3s have completed their pit stops as well. So the order, the top 5 in the 2 classes now, as a result of all the pit stops being completed, are as follows. Marco Arcidiacono only leads Simon Grossman by 3 seconds. The gap could be starting to come down. Simon Grossman was half a second almost quicker on that previous lap. Joseph Burton Harris in third, trying everything he can to hold back the pursuits of the Frenchman Matteo Prudhomme in fourth, and Fraser Williamson in fifth. Dirk Reinhardt, incidentally, after that slow pit stop where I think he had to serve a penalty for not serving a slowdown, is in ninth now. Massimo Carbagnani then leads the way in the German GT3s, but where is his rival Gianni Vecchio? There he is. He's a bit of a way behind. The gap is 1.4 seconds. And then Elliot Biddle is in third, with Cohen Klopman in fourth. And he's managed to put a bit of breathing space now between him and that train that's still pretty much all together despite the pit stops taking place, with Claudio Klima leading that pack, which has got Dustin Hickman still involved, Fabrice Cornelis, Nestoras Kiasoglu and Jorge Blascaval's all still there.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty much every class you look at, there seems to be a battle happening everywhere, and yeah, this is why I love multi-class racing, because it's so close and it's just so unpredictable at times.
And yeah, some Daytona prototypes just lapping the German GT3s now, and it's also why Monza's a great track to watch the racing take place on. This is a very busy area of the track. A lot of traffic going on here. We've got the German GT3s lapping the Porsches and the Daytona prototypes lapping both classes as well. That is Sam Fitzpatrick, the man who sits in 8th position, just negotiating that train of German GT3s. He's going to have his work cut out there. Just looking at the lap times again, Marco Ciccone doing a 1:41.5 in the Daytona prototypes, 41.2 for Simon Grossman, slightly quicker again. And the gap is now 3.2 seconds. With 14 minutes to go, it'll be interesting to see if he's able to reduce that any more, as still see Sam Fitzpatrick having issues, and he's going to have to be a bit patient here, but finally he gets a straight bit of track. He should be able to get by those last couple of German GT3s. And Kiasoglu is looking to the inside of Jorge Blascaval's here, going into the Ascari chicane. These two are fighting over, looking on the time screen, between over 8th and 9th. Yeah. Oh! As Kiasoglu nearly goes into the inside wall on the exit of the Ascari chicane. Easy to do if you take too much speed on the exit. Now here come two, I presume, battling German GT Daytona prototypes going into the final corner. Indeed it is. This is Martin Blaise versus Julian Ogen. And this is going to be an interesting battle here. What are they going to do with this German GT3? They're both going to go to the outside of it. And Ogen, he's going to get a good run down this front straight line.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the run in him. It looks like he could possibly get the move done into turn 1, but Martin seems to be a little bit later in the... Oh, that was close.
Yeah, tries to turn in there a little bit, and he gives him the space on the exit. And they're going to go wheel to wheel again through Curva Grande. You can see the amount of dust and dirt offline around this Monza circuit. Julian Ogen has the inside through Curva Grande, and Martin Blaise, he might have to lunge up the inside into the Della Roggia here, but thinks better of it, and under that bridge, which I think isn't there anymore from the racing I've seen recently around the Monza circuit. Possibly in danger of falling down, I think was the stuff I read. So yeah, that not there anymore. But of course, I've still got the bridge where you go under the famous old banking, and Dustin Hickman is pretty close to Claudio Klima here. This is a battle over a spot inside the top 5. Hickman in 6th. Did a great job last season in the IMSA Sportscar Series. Was near the top of the championship standings. But now he's currently in 6th position here at Monza, just getting lapped there by the Daytona prototype of Julian Ogen. And looks like that the other Daytona prototype there of Martin Blaise has really suffered there big time whilst trying to lap those German GT3s, and yeah, Julian Ogen, the Diatch driver, has put a bit of breathing space now between him and the other one. But Nestoras Kiasoglu and Blascaval's, they continue their duel here as they go on the exit of the final corner. And Blascaval's, here he comes, Ryan. He's going to go to the outside into the first corner, it looks like.
Yeah, it's a bit risky trying to go on the outside into turn 1, but if you can maybe get slightly ahead before the entry of turn 1, he might get the move done. And yeah, that's exactly what he's done, and that was a good move.
The exit, and Blascaval's looks like he's done it, but he cannot rule out Kiasoglu. Up the inside he goes through Curva Grande. Fantastic battle this is for 8th and 9th in the German GT3s, with the Audis, the Mercedes. No BMWs in the field today. Around the outside goes Kiasoglu. He holds on to the position, but has to take such a compromising line. He's going to go into the gravel on the exit, and this is going to allow Blascaval's up the inside into the first of the Lesmos. And he's into 8th position, but runs wide on the exit in the first Lesmos. And we're going to have another crossback, possibly nearly there. And Jorge Vascavals is able to hold on to his position. The Iberian driver up into 8th position. That's still 2 positions lower than where he started, but good battle nonetheless. Saw a few position changes going on in the Daytona prototypes. I think it was Mika Eshui getting past Dragan Nikic. Nikic getting pretty close on the exit Parabolica here, so we've got another fight on our hands going down the front straight. See what speeds these Daytona prototypes can get up to. 285 kilometers per hour, nearly touching 290, just 289 as we hit the brakes into the hardest braking point on the circuit. And Dragan Nikic getting that position back. He's returned to 6th place. We'll return to the roughs, who have now completed their pit stops. Nothing has changed there, apart from Fassbender, who had that really long stop, which I presume was for damage after the opening lap debacle. And Michel Ricci. I called them roughs again, didn't I? Yeah, the Porsche category. That will be the death of me, really. Michel Ricci has the lead in the Porsches. I'm sorry, Ruff, I'm giving you endless promotion here. Dejvad Karoni in 2nd, with Yuko Leskala in 3rd, Mark McDonald 4th, and Marcel Fassbender in 5th. That is a top 5, the state of play in that category. Can tell you the cars that are out, and they are Tim Claessens, Tyson Mayer, and David Barraclough. All 3 of those Porsches involved in the first corner escapade. Marcin Skrzypczak, obviously we saw him get quarter panelled off by Cohen Klopman, and then Chris Pence went into the pits and never returned, basically. And Johannes Schafranca has been in the pits twice. He's just returned to the track now, so maybe didn't put enough fuel in the car to get through the final 8 minutes of the race. What's going down in the top class, the Daytona prototypes again. What were the lap times like between Joseph Besson-Harris and Matteo Prudhomme? In fact, Joseph Besson-Harris was very slow on his last lap, a 43.3 for the Australian-New Zealand driver, and Matteo Prudhomme did a 42.0. So that, I must say, that's 1.3 seconds quicker, the French driver. Closing in as we enter the final stages of this race. Been very entertaining indeed. Besson-Harris just coming up to lap Marcel Fassbender, who, despite being in the pits for a good half a minute, still hasn't been able to iron out that damage on the rear of the car. And Besson-Harris, who just laps him now, will have Prudhomme for company if he doesn't pick up the pace anytime soon. Right.
Yeah, I've just been watching Matteo's lap times over the last 2 or 3 laps, and it seems to be he's slightly. Oh, Burton Harris goes wide. And sorry, I don't. As I was saying, Matteo's lap times seem to be much quicker than Burton Harris, and I think it's just a matter of time possibly before Matteo can possibly try and make a move on him and get by.
See what lap times are like this time then. The timing line is there as we go over it. We'll see what times they do. It was a 41.6 for Prudhomme. A return to form for Joseph Besson-Harris, only 3/10 slower on that previous lap. Maybe hit a bad patch of traffic. Gets up the inside there of the Porsche of Leskala. Oh, that's very close there as Prudhomme makes certain he doesn't want to lose touch with Joseph Besson-Harris, and he just about keeps himself in the game there. And shows that when you're in the class in front, you do not want to lose touch with the guy you're battling with. Matteo Prudhomme making sure that he didn't lose touch with Joseph Besson-Harris going through that first chicane.
Yeah, sometimes when you're battling someone in front of you, sometimes you forget when you're lapping traffic. You have to be careful, but sometimes when you're in a battle, you have to take a risk sometimes. And it's one of those situations. Do I take the risk, or do I play the safe approach?
Final 6 minutes then here in the IMSA Sportscar Series, and Prudhomme's got a fantastic run on the exit of the second Lesmo, but looks like he won't be able to get anything done into the Ascari chicane. Very close there, through the right-hander, through the left, onto the back straight we go. He's going to pick up a decent tow here, Matteo Pruton. This is the battle over the final spot on the podium. Both of these guys have gained 1 position since the start of the race. Both of those positions are due to Dirk Reinhardt's demise down to 8th. Pruton gives him a little nudge in the back through the parabolica. That might give Burton Harris the advantage he needs down the front straight, ironically. We'll see what the slipstream does as we go along to start the 24th lap of the race, and just over 5 minutes to go. But Joseph Burton Harris, the car looks pretty speedy down the straights, and as much as Pruton will use of the slipstream, it's not going to be enough for him to reduce the deficit enough for him to perform the overtake just yet.
Yeah, it seems I'm just spotted Burton Harris, and he seems to be getting a better run off the final corner than Matteo, which is helping him slightly. But if Matteo can get a good exit on the final corner, he could possibly try and get a move done on him into turn 1.
We saw how much of the runoff area that Burton Harris was using on the exit of the final corner. See if he does it again when we get to the end of this lap. But you can see through this part of the course which has corners in it, Matteo Pruton is looking the quicker. Incidentally, Joseph Burton Harris does hold the fastest lap of the race, a 40.4. However, he was 2.6 seconds slower than that on his previous lap. Pruton then, right on the rear wing and the rear bumper of that Daytona prototype as we go down the straight into the Ascari again. How many more times we'll be doing this lap of the circuit? We go through the second part and onto the back straight again. Incidentally, I think we might have lost Mika Eshui. Looks like it's either disqualification or something else for the Benelux driver. But this battle for third once again goes into the final corner, the parabolica. There you see Joseph Burton Harris running that runoff area on the exit. That might just keep him ahead, but Pruton once again closer than he's ever been. As we go over the timing line, and here we go into the first corner. Will he be able to get the move done? Looks to the outside, maybe even sell him a dummy. You can see that one of the Porsches is there. That is Michel Ricci, the Porsche leader, getting lapped. And again, Joseph Burton Harris has enough speed in the car down the front straight. He's able to keep the Frenchman Matteo Pruton behind for at least the time being. It'll be interesting to see where he actually gets this move done. Ryan, he realises that the first corner seems to be a no-go, considering the speed that the Burton Harris has under the car. I think his best opportunity, looking at it the last few laps, is maybe get a run out of the second Lesmos, maybe, or maybe even out of Ascari.
Yeah, possibly. If he can get a good run on both of the corners, and he could possibly try and get right up behind Burton Harris and try a move.
As I say, just looking back at the German GT3s as we get towards the end, there's still fantastic battles going on here. We've got Claudio Klima just holding off Fabrice Cornelis as they go down the front straight into the first corner, and just behind him the Audi of Dustin Hickman closing up under braking there, and it looks like Cornelis either didn't get the car going at all on the exit, or maybe picked up a small slowdown, because that allows Dustin Hickman through into 6th position now, and Blaska Vals and Nestoras Kiasoglu continue their battle that's been going on for the entire race. So great battles going on inside the German GT3s as we enter closing stages. Wheel to wheel there between Cornelis and Dustin Hickman. Hickman in the Audi just able to hold on. Marco Diacona then, he's just gone through through the Rettifilio on what I believe will be his penultimate lap. I think we've got enough time to do one more after this one. And Burton Harris still staying ahead of the Frenchman Matteo Pruton. They're coming up to lap some Porsche traffic here. That is the car of Kevin Buhalasa, which has got a lot of damage to the front of his car. And there go the two Daytona prototypes right on by. Look at the lap times again. Burton Harris 41.5, 41.6 this time for Matteo Pruton. Starting to get held up a little bit. Right with him though this time. Gets a good run through the first Lesmo. What about the second Lesmo? 90-degree right-hander. Both using the AstroTurf and a bit of the gravel on the exit for good measure. Pruton's pretty close this time, Ryan, but I'd say not close enough to get a move. He's going to have to try and stay with him through Ascari, but he's running out of laps. This is the penultimate lap for... Actually no, they'll have 2 more turns around the circuit this time.
Yeah, he's running out of time to try and get a move done on Burton Harris, and it seems to be every time he gets a good run on Burton Harris just seems to possibly is running much more low downforce and has better straight line speed.
Great to see the two setups then. We're seeing two different versions here, but I have to say the Frenchman Mathieu Prudhomme's looking as close as he's ever been as we go through the Ascari to start what will be the final lap of the race. Look at that, Burton Harris ducking and diving all over the circuit to keep the Frenchman behind. Who's going to be taking the final spot on the podium as the white flag is now out, the clock has reached 0, and into the first corner then. Almost contact between the two of them. Fantastic racing is this. Marco Diacono leads, Simon Grossman in second, 5 seconds behind. 6 seconds behind him is this thrilling encounter for the final spot on the podium. Joseph Burton Harris, the man from Australia, New Zealand, had a good start to the race, was as high as second, but a thrilling race off pit road meant that he lost that second place to Simon Grossman, has now fallen into the clutches of Mathieu Prudhomme. And we're going to see over the final 3 or so kilometres as he gets into the back of him. Ooh. Bit of contact there between Joseph Burton Harris and Mathieu Prudhomme as we go through the first Lesmo. No harm done though between the two of them, no harm, no foul. And now on the exit, the second Lesmo, Prudhomme as close as he's ever been through this section of the circuit, and Joseph Burton Harris knows that. He's moving across the circuit to try and disturb the slipstream. Now into the Ascari chicane. Whereabouts is Marco? Oh no!
Oh, contact!
They're both off. And Joseph Burton Harris, he's going to be feeling mighty aggrieved about that. He was within about 1.5 kilometres of a final spot on the podium. To be fair, he'll only lose one position, it looks like. But meanwhile, Marco Diacono comes through the final corner. Checkered flag is out. Lights to flag victory, pole position, race victory, and at his home circuit. Simon Grossman will take second, but it will be Mathieu Prudhomme that will take the final spot on the podium. Joseph Burton Harris should survive to finish in 4th, but we will see what he's got to say about what happened there. And a top 5 for Fraser Williamson. Well, what happened going into Ascari? Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm just about to look at the replay now, and it possibly looks like Matteo carried in a lot more corner speed than Burton Harris, and yeah, Burton Harris was a little bit slower through the corner, and it possibly could have just caught Matteo out.
GT3 battle still ongoing. We need to have a look at that then as we come round towards the end of the race. Massimo Carbagnani still leading the way, second Gianni Vecchio, third Elliot Biddle. Those look set to stay the way they are, and it's still all on in the battle for a spot inside the top 5. Claudio Klima leading round this nice long train made up of Dustin Hickman, Fabrice Cornelis, Jorge Rascavaz and Kia Soglu. Race victory in the German GT3s does go to Massimo Carbagnani, second for Gianni Vecchio, third Elliot Biddle, 4th will go to Cohen Klopman, and Claudio Klima should just hold on to a spot inside the top 5. Is that... Oh no, that Mercedes is out of fuel! Unbelievable! Cohen Klopman, I said he was going to get 4th, but he couldn't make it to the line. The Mercedes spluttered over the timing line and he makes it 6th place in the end. Claudio Klima gets 4th, and Dustin Hickman gets a spot inside the top 5. And we always say, Ryan, you need to be careful with the fuel, and looks like Cohen Klopman just didn't get every last drop in, and yeah, didn't make it to the line.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. I mean, I've had that happen to me before in the Proto GT series a couple of seasons ago at Daytona, and yeah, splitting across the line and losing at the time what was a podium position. That was just heartbreaking, and yeah, Cohen must be kicking himself.
Well, just looking on the chat, I think Cohen might be basing his fuel numbers off the JRT timing, and it might not have given him an accurate measurement of how much fuel he needed to put in the car to get to the checkered flag, and yeah, that's what cost him a 4th position. And Michel Ritchie took the victory, by the way, in the Porsche 911 category. Pretty much likes to flag victory for him, and Dejvad Karoni finishing in 2nd, and Yuka Leskala in 3rd. We're only for the finishing order then, from what's been a really entertaining race here in the IMSA Sportscar Series at Monza. Marco Diacono takes the victory then, 4.6 seconds ahead of Simon Grossman by the end of the race. Matteo Prudhomme finishing in third, fourth for Joseph Burton Harris, with Fraser Williamson in fifth. Sixth for Draken Nikic, with Sam Fitzpatrick in seventh. Eighth for Dirk Reinhard, ninth Julian Ogen, and then 10th for Martin Blaise, with Anthony Grant finishing in 11th. Massimo Carbignani takes the victory in the German GT3, second Gianni Vecchio, third for Elliot Biddle, fourth Claudio Klima and Dustin Hickman. Both of those guys benefiting from Cohen Klopman not making it to the line, running out of fuel. He finished in sixth. Seventh for Fabrice Cornelis, up 6 positions during the race today, one of our biggest movers. Then it was Jorge Blascavals in 8th, 9th Nestoris Kiasoglu and Andreas Lakem finishing in 10th. 11th for Luigi Nespolino and David Baker finishing in 12th. Unfortunately, that's the last of the running German GT3s. Then Michel Ricci takes the victory in the Porsches, making it Italians winning every single class. How about that? Dejvad Caroni finishing in second, third for Yuko Leskala, Mark McDonald in fourth, fifth Marcel Fassbender, sixth Chris Fuller, seventh Rene Kirchhoff, eighth for Michael Via, with ninth Kevin Buhalasa, and 10th Johannes Schafranka. And in the cars that had issues during the race, Mika Eshui, 4 laps down. His Daytona prototypes encountered issues. Chris Pence as well, 11 laps down. Marcin Skirpishak crashed off at the Ascari chicane. And then David Baraklov, Tyson Mayer and Tim Claessens all involved in the first corner mix-up that we saw at the start of the race. Right then, Ryan Walker, your thoughts on this race? Monza pretty much putting on a pretty good show, I must say.
Yeah, that was fantastic racing, and the battle in the Daytona prototypes with Matteo and Burton Harris was absolutely brilliant to watch. It was unfortunate what happened at the end of those two, but yeah, it was a great battle, and the battles throughout the field in the German GT3s and the Porsches as well was great to watch. And yeah, now I know why I like commentating on the series, and it just provides great racing.
Well, we are not done here on Apex Racing TV. We will be back in an hour and a bit, where we'll be getting set for the next race meeting in the BSR Mazda MX-5 Cup. And Ryan Walker, you're off to get yourself ready for the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. You'll be participating in that, I believe. That'll be getting underway about 8:30 British Summer Time. Whereabouts are we racing today? Have you not had time to practice yet?
The Club 73 series is on a break this week. So,
okay.
So yeah, I'm just spending the evening relaxing, but yeah, I'll be doing some practice during next week for the next round, which is at Watkins Glen, I believe.
Oh, brilliant! That's going to be interesting. Multi-class racing around there. But yeah, all the more reason to join us for the BSR Mazda MX-5 Cup, which now it's time for me to check where that series is racing as I quickly load up their website. Been a good season so far in the BSR Mazda MX-5 Cup, and tonight it is racing at Suzuka, the Grand Prix circuit. So yeah, that should be interesting for 3 races around there. And yeah, you can join us from 8 PM British Summer Time. So my thanks to Sam for being on the cameras and Philip for filling in for the first 5 or 10 minutes while I relied on public transport. And thanks to Ryan Walker for joining me in the commentary box here. So we will say farewell from Monza in Italy, 1 in the Daytona prototypes, 1 in the German GT3s, and 1 in the Porsche 911 class. It's a good day to be an Italian, and from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, it is ciao from the Autodromo Nazionale Monza.